Hi, my name is Sharra McRae, and I would like to say thank you to Mrs. Blakes for giving me the opportunity to express why voting matters to me.
Ms. McRae, why do you vote?
I vote because voting gives me the opportunity to make a change by voicing what matters to me. By electing someone, I am trusting that they are like-minded and share the same morals and values that I do.
What does voting mean to you?
Voting to me means not letting my ancestors' voices go unheard. It means that not only can I help my generation, but I can help the future generations as well, to make sure that there are laws put in place that will protect my people.
Can you tell me about a time you first voted? What year was it? How old were you?
I was 19. It was my first time voting. And I did vote in the local election that was to put in place the new mayor and one of the upcoming city council reps. When I got there, I realized that I had left my voter's card at home, and they told me that I did need 2 forms of ID to vote. I had to rush back home and look for my ID and then still make it back before the polls closed. I was lucky enough to have a voting place near my home, and I did not have to travel that far.
Why is it important for women to vote?
It is important for women to vote because for hundreds of years, women were forced to be silent and let men govern themselves. And look how that turned out. Now that it's becoming more apparent that women do have voices that need to be heard as well, I think that we should take the opportunity to make our voices heard and understood in legislation.
Okay. What woman or women inspired you to vote?
I would say my biggest inspiration for voting is my mom. Growing up, she always took me to the polling places to see what it was like to vote. So I was actually really voting before I was technically allowed to vote. She would go and explain to me what it is that I was reading, why I needed to understand what it was that I was reading, and what impact could be made based on how I chose to vote on that certain agenda.
Do you feel like your vote counts and makes a difference in the outcome of the elected officials?
I believe that every vote counts. I do think that your vote has a bigger visual impact throughout your community on the local level, just because a lot of those agendas that you would be voting on are things that you would see a bigger impact to more frequently and more often than you would see if you were to vote in the presidential elections.
What does it mean to you to have the first female vice president?
It means a big step for women throughout history for sure. Unfortunately, the vice presidency isn't a position that I would see a change in throughout my day-to-day life. So the next thing that I would encourage everyone to do is to vote on your city elections, on your state elections, and then moving up to the presidential elections. So make sure you guys get out to vote for the mayor, your city council reps, your district school board of trustees. Things like that are things that we're going to see an impact immediately in our community. So those are the things that we should take priority in first.
And for our last question, do you vote in all elections? If so, why or why not?
From what you've gathered, I do vote in all elections. And like I've stated previously, if you want to see a more impactful change, the only way to do that is to vote on your smaller elections to where you'll get a more personal connection with the people that you're choosing to put in these places to make a difference.
All right, Ms. McRae, thank you for your time today. If you have any closing statements you would like to say, go ahead and say them now.
I would like to say thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak and express why voting matters to me. If you're not registered to vote, make sure you find someone who is a voting registrar and get your information to them, and they will be more than happy to get you registered to vote. And also keep updating yourself when the next elections are, because the only way to make a difference is to vote. Thank you.